on to you, Virgos. Hope y'all having a great day. So, you Virgos have the Nine of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and you also have the Three of Swords. Right? So, these three cards right here. So, for you Virgos, okay, so very interesting reading because there's a lack of, because of the Nine of Cups represents people's confidence that they like to act like they have. But then the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords represents you Virgos come to find out in time and experience that those people are not very confident at all. They're really faking it. And so now when it's time for you Virgos to actually show them that you like them and you give them a legitimate offer, right? A love offer, they basically, they shell up. That's what the Five of Pentacles represents. It ends up not going well because they shell up. They shell up. And so the situation with that is they have a problem with that because of the fact that they shell up, right? They like you a lot. But the problem though is that they so scared to be in a relationship with you. And that's what it is. That's part of what it is. And so it ends up not really being a relationship because of that, because you will like them. And they don't really know how to be in a relationship where two people are fairly interacting with one another, right? Because a Virgo, for any of the cross watchers, right? A Virgo will give their partner, give their relationship, their significant other, knowledge that they can eat off of for a lifetime. A Virgo will teach their significant other about money, how life works, just really put their significant other on. You know, and I'm speaking as a Virgo, right? And has tried to do that with pretty much the people who I'm getting to know romantically at the time, the women that I'm getting to know romantically at the time, try to do it with all of them. And, you know, it is what it is. It didn't work out for whatever reason, right? It is what it is. I'm not gonna, talk wild or whatever. It didn't work out, moving forward with that. But the point is, the same thing is happening with you Virgos, right? That is the point. The point that a lot of people are not really ready for your fairness. They're not. And so the thing is that the Three of Swords, it broke your heart because both of you are heartbroken. They're heartbroken based upon fear. You're heartbroken based upon you're ready, right? A lot of you Virgos can be here or even be one of these, And a lot of people are not really ready. Truth be told, most people ain't even really here and here. Truth be told, if we're really gonna, most people are really like stuck here, maybe, which this, right, Gebra or Gibora is like problems. And they let those problems take away at them, right? Like they're smart and all this stuff. Like you have here, right? Horde, they're intelligent and all that. And you know what I mean? They have intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Like they have intelligence and, then you have Victory, right? Ned Zach and all of that. All of that is amazing, right? Ned Zach is Victory, right? With their intelligence, they'll have certain things happening to them. All of that is amazing, right? All of that is amazing, right? And then comes with that confidence and all of that. All of that is amazing. But then they get to, like I said, new levels, new devils, which is what Gebra represents. In your life, you will be challenged. Every time you get to a higher level, spiritually, you will be challenged. You will have to take a challenge on. You will have to survive the challenge. You will have to do better. That's just naturally how life works. Get to a higher position in life, now you got to wrestle with a new devil. You got to have to overcome some problem. And I know this because I paid attention in my own life how it worked. Every time I got to a higher position where I wanted to be, I literally had a new problem immediately that I had to face. So now I'm like, jeez, you know, the 12 trials of Hercules, right? The 12 labors of Hercules. You got to do this, that, and that. So I'm saying all that to say that you Virgos are on another level because you have gotten over certain things, but it doesn't mean that other people have gotten over certain things. So the star card and the justice represents the universe owes you love. You deserve to be in a loving relationship because, you know, Virgo is the one that has to deal with love the hardest. Virgo, Aries, Scorpio, and Capricorns love the hardest. As far as not the hard, they don't love the hardest per se, but they have the hardest time in love. Let me say it like that because they don't necessarily love the hardest. No zodiac sign loves harder than others, but it's more so in a sense of they have the hardest time in love. And the reason why is because Venus falls in Virgo. So where like the times when we try to love and be in love and be in relationships and really share, Venus don't really be smiling on us like that because Venus requires us to take a delusional approach. And us as Virgos, we've seen too much, we've experienced too much. You know what I'm saying? Like we we've been down this road, right? Too many times. We've seen too much. We know what's happening. So the situation is that us as Virgos, that's why Venus be giving us a hard time when it comes to the aspects of like love. But we are owed it because we want it. Us as Virgos, if we get ourselves in relationships and we are higher Virgos, oh yeah, we'll do an amazing job when it comes to relationships. And the people who we're in a relationship with never in their life would have experienced the kind of love that us as Virgos could dish out. And I know this for a fact because I've had women who have told me this, that, you know, real talk, no, seriously, I've had women who have told me this, like, the kind of love that you give out, I've never had this in my entire life before. Staring right at the camera as I say that. So, you know, it's just that they're going through something, I'm going through something, right, at the time, because this was when I was like in my 20s. So the situation with that is that the Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups speaks to how you Virgos, right? A lot of you have the Queen of Cups. You're more emotionally in tune. You're doing your thing. You living your life. You handling your business, right? You really. So because you living your life and you handling your business, the Six of Cups represents this person, this ex, this person who you may have been romantically interested in or could have been, showing you love and showing you love and stuff like this and blah, blah, blah. So guess what that means? That means that you're in a particular position where, you know, you gotta, you in a position where this person is trying to appeal to you, and like you Virgos can really just kind of sit back and really peep game as to how they showing up, where they showing up, why they showing up, how them showing up, how, why, where, right? Maybe you may bump into them on the street, right? I've you know what I'm saying, ran into a couple of people whom, I've ran into a couple of people who I could have dated or liked like that, and they may have liked me on the street. You know, there's plenty of times that I was crossing the street or we have like city blocks here in New York City. So like a lot of the things are like buildings. So like a lot of them are kind of like, it's not just two-way streets. It's kind of like four-way streets, up, down, that. So, you know, you know, excuse me, left, right. So you'll like have to like cut across a building and stuff like this. There's many times where I go to bend a corner and I bump into somebody who I could have dated, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, excuse me. And it's like, then I pretty much get the realization, oh, they stalking me type stuff. So that type of stuff will happen. And the thing is that you can bump into an ex on the street. And the Six of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups speaks to how you Virgos very much so are living your lives, in a sense that you watching and you're like, well, why would you be with this person, right? You're trying to figure it out, because for you Virgos, if you Virgos have little ones of your own, that's what you're concentrating on. If you Virgos are single and you don't have little ones, you Virgos are thinking about starting a family potentially with obviously someone whom you have a clean slate with. So a lot of you Virgos are, are ahead of the game, where you're not even thinking about this individual. Like, like you Virgos could be thinking about something worldly, like on a whole other level, that, you could be thinking 10 steps ahead, 20 steps ahead, like 30 steps ahead. Like, that's another thing too that a lot of people misconstrue about me. Most of the, what I'm saying? Like, they get bent out of shape. Like, most of the times I'm not even thinking about the person like that. I'm thinking 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 steps ahead. Some of the things that I want to really get into for real, seriously, and have an opportunity to be able to get into it if I position myself correctly. So it's like, and yeah, could have a significant other with me and everything, but they don't be seeing the bigger picture. They don't understand that I'm doing things behind the scenes, legally, of course, to be able to position myself to have those kinds of opportunities. They want to bicker and argue all day, right? So it's the same thing going on with you Virgos. Like, where your mind isn't even on them, but here they are trying to come back. It's like, what are we doing? Right? Why would they come back and do that? So the situation is, y'all are living y'all lives. Like, you're not sweating anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just really trying to figure out how to tell you, like, y'all are living y'all lives. Like, you Virgos know how, like, when you're not really tripping out about somebody, you're not really thinking too much about them, and then they come back, and then you're like, oh my gosh, they gonna try to give you problems because they want you to be pressed over them. And it's like, you Virgos just aren't, because you're thinking about other things. Like, right now I'm thinking about growing my YouTube channel, the stocks that I buy, literally, no, seriously, like right now in my head, that's what I'm thinking. What am I going to eat later, right? What am I going to cook later? Making sure that I hang out with my pets, my cat and my dog, and like, cleaning my room, cleaning, you know what I mean? My rose, you feel what I'm saying? Like my rose carpet and all that stuff, right? Make sure that it gets a very nice shine to it and everything like that. Like, so if an ex came back, I'm like, what am I going to watch on my TV? Like, seriously, like, that's how my mind operates. Like, I'm not like, and that's the way that a lot of you Virgos mind probably work too, because you not handcuffing anybody. Like, they got to figure it out. What do they want to do? Figure out what they want to do. If they rocking with you, then do that. If they not, then do that. Leave. Like what? But see, this is what I mean when I say it's the moving of the goalposts. People don't want to. People got problems because they're conflicted. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups, right? Let's clarify the Ace of Cups. The situation with you Virgos. Virgos represents exceptions to the rules. Gave you a big piece of game right there. Virgos represents exceptions to the rules. So because Virgos represent that, the way that you get treated is the exception. Normally, a lot of people are accustomed to putting on a front and they hang out with certain people because on one level they like them, but they also know that they're dysfunctional. And they will give them a chance because they know that this is what they can get. And so they're being realistic, but they're not letting you know that. But at the same time, though, they want to actually hop over the fence and come talk to you and say hi and be in your yard, be in your house. They want to be a part of your family. They want what you got going on, right, with you. But the problem, though, is that they have issues being able to accept that. So when you Virgos aren't around, the scenario is they got a lot of issues because it's like on the one hand, I want to be able to kind of do my own thing, right? But on the other hand, it's like I'm putting on this front, but around you, I feel so good. I got problems. And see, this is why a lot of people be geeking. This is why a lot of people like glitch, you know what I mean, when they are around you Virgos, because it's like they have dual minds. They have a dual mindset. And on one hand, it's like I'm saying all this, I'm doing all this, but on the other hand, I like you. So it's like, how am I supposed to, like, my two ideas, my two ideologies, my two stream of consciousness is conflicting with one another. It's clashing, it's conflicting with one another. So it's like, how do I gauge that kind of situation? Like, what do I do? And then when they come around you Virgos, that's where the misconception is, because now it's I love you Virgos so much, but at the same time I can't. I'm trying to put on. So it's the moving of the goalpost. So they have to pick one, and usually a lot of the time people pick the going down with the ship mentality, and it's like, okay, Five of Cups, Empress, the Magician, the Six of Swords, and then you have the Seven of Swords to clarify the Ace of Cups. So these three cards right here represent how, to clarify the Ace of Cups, this represents how you Virgos, you don't, but see, that's the thing, like a lot of people try to project because they underestimate your ability to be by yourself, to handle your own business, right? So what they do is they project. They'll be like, oh, well, you pressed. When in actuality, that's not really true. And they know that, but they like to project it. They like to project an underestimation. And it's like, truth is that Virgo and Scorpio is one of those zodiac, they're the two Crabs, Capricorn, those four zodiac signs can actually live without love, as long as the money is coming. Like, I shouldn't have said that. That was a lot of game right there. That was a lot of game right there. That was a lot of game. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, Scorpio, the Crabs, Virgo, and Capricorn are four zodiac signs that can live without love. They can live without it. Not even Aries can do that, because Aries are hopeless romantics. But those four zodiac signs can live without love. And so They don't really understand that about you, Virgos. This is why it is I keep saying a million times, like people, unless you're a Virgo and unless you understand what being a Virgo is, stop talking about things you don't get. Stop trying to act like you know what a Virgo on. Stop thinking you know everything about a Virgo, because Virgos is one of the most mysterious signs. And with reason, because you see Virgo, Washington, D.C., this, that, the third, but Virgo is not really ever talked about because it's esoteric. It's intentionally a secretive, it's held back, like Scorpio, like Pisces. It's intentionally meant to be held back, like Aquarius. They don't really talk about those zodiac signs like that. And see, the situation with that is, and literally, it's a secret. So the thing about it is that the Six of Swords and the Seven of Swords speaks to how, but a lot of people are moving, this X is moving a goalpost because now they want to get back in touch with you. But the Seven of Swords represents you, Virgos, holding up the boundaries. Like, so they played themselves whenever it is that they thought that they could play you. Bad for them. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. Please help me grow my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the videos, leave a comment if you will. All that good stuff. Really appreciate it, by the way. Peace.